Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today on tap, we are talking about what to do when you're trying really hard at something, you're really consistent with it, you're showing up and you're not seeing any success or any results. Now, I'm just gonna be so for real with you. Today I woke up in such a horrible mood because I am so burnt out. I'm feeling so lost as a content creator. I'm wishing I was a lot further along in my career. I'm comparing myself to everybody else. And for me, it's definitely career related, but this is something that's such a universal human struggle and can happen if you're going to the gym, if you're dieting. This is applicable to all sorts of things. And I just wanna take a second to acknowledge that this feeling fucking sucks. It's a really uncomfortable and horrible feeling to deal with. It's one thing if you're not trying at all at something and not seeing results, but the pain of putting everything into something and then just feeling like you're tanking is really shitty. I'm not gonna lie. So because this is really fresh for me and because I'm going through it with this, I'm gonna tell you the 3 things that I've realized that are helping me cope with this. Because someone's gonna go through this at some point or another. First thing you need to do when dealing with this, and I say this with love, is to take a freaking break. I'm gonna need you to take some space from your phone, to take some space from your computer, because those devices are giving you 24-hour access to comparing yourself and your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reels. And it's gonna make you spiral over how you wish you had what all of these other people had. And it's gonna make you feel like you're lacking all of these things. That's a definite no for when you're feeling this burnt out and low. So that is something very much in your control, is to put the devices away. And for me personally, I'm going on a vacation and I'm giving myself days. This is gonna be over the Thanksgiving break, where I'm not gonna be creating content at all. And this is gonna feel so counterintuitive because, especially if you come from a short form video creation background, or if you are experiencing this as a content creator specifically, you're so used to that hamster wheel. Even in working corporate 9 to 5, it's just go, 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 work, work, work. And you're just spreading yourself too thin right now, and your mind is clouded, and you need an energy state change, and you need to just take a break to allow clarity to come in, to allow your personality to come back, to allow yourself to enjoy rest, because rest is also productive. For me, I'm using it as an opportunity to spend some time in nature, kind of cleanse my soul and heal, because I've been too much on my phone, and that's a lot of energy, and it's a lot of brain rot. And I know it's really hard to have the mindset of taking a break when you feel like everyone else is still going and still showing up every day. And that's the cold hard truth. The next thing you need to do if you're feeling this kind of way is to make a change, big or small. Now, if you're like me and you're experiencing some really intense burnout, that's a sign that something is not sustainable and that it needs to change. And this is also something within our control. For me, as a content creator, what this looks like is realizing that I'm better at batching my content and then giving my days off from filming than filming something and editing something every single day. That has proven to not be as sustainable for me long term. And if I didn't hit this intense point of burnout, I never would have realized and I never would have made a change that would be more sustainable to me long term. So kind of crashing out and finding and feeling the burnout and feeling like a failure is also an opportunity, because it makes you think, okay, well, I can't keep going on like this. So what are the other things I can think of and marinate on that will help me do something a little bit differently that's more in alignment with me? Because when you are in alignment, that's where you're gonna shine, and it's all about finding the right thing for you. And I know that this can take some trial and error, but this is the time to be playing with that. The next thing to do in this situation is to not give up by remembering your cause. Whether you're doing this because you want to help others feel less alone, whether you're doing it as a personal form of expression and healing yourself, or you're just ambitious and want to prove to yourself that you can do it because you know you can. None of that will ever be achieved if you just give up on yourself. None of it can be achieved if you give in and listen to the negative thoughts that are telling you that you're a failure and that you're not good enough and that you should have had more success by a certain age. None of that's really helping you. So maybe just acknowledge those thoughts and just let them go in one ear, out the other. It's probably a sign that you need some rest or a good meal, and table it and just come back to it. Most of the time, when we put more love into ourselves and we take care of ourselves, then we start to feel more inspired again. And lastly, I'll just leave you with this. I hope that you can be gentle and kind to yourself as your productivity and energy levels ebb and flow. If Mother Nature can have seasons, why can't you? I promise that you are still growing, even though you feel like you're failing or you're not succeeding. because those are giving you insight and guiding you towards the things that are going to work better for you. Please just know that you're not alone. It's very common for a lot of entrepreneurs, such as myself. And I know it can feel really isolating, but I promise it's totally normal and there's nothing wrong with you personally. It's all about figuring out what works best for you. And what works best for you isn't necessarily gonna work best for me, which is why there's no point in comparing yourself to others. And I know that's easier said than done, but it's a skill and I think we should all start collectively practicing that together. So thank you so much for meeting me where I'm at today with this really niche struggle. It's really painful for me. It's something that has been coming up a lot for me in the past few years, especially now as I'm navigating switching from short form content to long form, which is more of a long game and it's not as instantaneous as short form. And I'm still kind of figuring out how to relate my short form to my long form as a unit and branding. And I feel like I'm such a neurodiverse person that it's so hard to brand myself because I'm so complicated and I have so many interests. So if that's anything you can relate to, again, you are not alone. We're gonna figure this out together and we're gonna find something that is really in alignment to us. So don't give up, know that I'm on this journey with you, and I will talk to you and see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.